Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I cannot believe what I'm about to say, but we got Activision to finally remove skill-based matchmaking. It is so vindicating after all the years of work, all the videos, all the naysayers saying that we were just complaining just to complain. Well, look what we have here. Classic matchmaking, where skill is minimally considered, featuring team deathmatch, kill confirm, domination, hardpoint, and overload. They put this in the actual game itself. Anybody can read it. They're not hiding it from the casual players. There's only 2 modes in the entirety of the Black Ops 7 beta right now. Basically, it's no skill-based matchmaking and yes, skill-based matchmaking. What Activision and Treyarch are doing right now is a test, but the funny part is I literally called this in my video not 24 hours ago. It's honestly depressing, but I suppose the one silver lining to all this, and you guys may think this is like a crackpot theory or whatever, but the game is so down bad right now that I genuinely think that there is a chance that skill-based matchmaking gets reworked as a result. One thing is for sure, they cannot continue down this path. They are out of options. To use COD terms, they are literally in final stand right now, so Activision, we're waiting. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached a point where Call of Duty is so down bad that they are finally listening to the community and removing skill-based matchmaking, at least for the time being. Now, obviously, there's a lot to unpack in this video, and what makes matters more complicated is I had a big family thing planned for today, so I was gone. I was out of the office virtually all day. I got to play like 3 matches earlier, and then I had time to do like 5 matches here tonight, but obviously I have to do the video and get that up at a decent hour. I'm not known for uploading at the best times in the world, but regardless, I was able to play a little bit here, and I was able to draw some pretty conclusive conclusions from what's been going on here. So the impetus for all this was a tweet from Treyarch earlier today saying, let's switch things up. Later today, we'll have 2 playlists in the Black Ops 7 beta, Mosh Pit, and a new option, Open Mosh Pit. Then, of course, they give the description for the game mode. And let me just come right out here right now and say it, chest puffed out, not holding back. They fucking lied to us, man. They straight up lied to us. Like, we all knew they were lying, but they kept up the charade anyway. And I'm not talking about the new game mode. That is pretty conclusive. We can see it with our own eyes. I'm talking about when they lied to us when they said that time to match and connection quality were always the top of their priority list. Do you guys remember this bullshit they kept showing us back in the day? Well, let me tell you guys right here and now, it was a complete lie, because look at what happens in the no skill-based matchmaking playlist. Queue times are nearly instant, like just like they were back in Call of Duty 4, the OG Modern Warfare 2, Black Ops 1. Like, queue times are pretty much freaking instant as compared to the like 1 to 3 minutes that we usually have to spend on a game like Black Ops 6. The connection quality is usually pretty good. I usually get like 20 to 30 ping, which is good for me. I live kind of in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania. But one problem that's really frustrating me right now is I'm getting an insane amount of packet burst, like way more than I was getting before this update, which is weird. I don't know what the cause of all that is. I mean, you guys might remember that amazing PC that E-Rock on Tech built for me. I can handle this game 8 ways from Sunday, and my internet, while not amazing, is still pretty damn good for, again, rural Pennsylvania. So why is there packet burst like every single match, and why is it getting worse and worse? Treyarch, please fix it, because so far the new game mode without skill-based matchmaking feels a lot better. It's night and day difference, but of course, and I did call this in the past, fans are skeptical, and rightly so. We can't trust Activision as far as we can throw them, so let's dive into that whole debacle here next. So when a multi-billion, even trillion-dollar company designs an entire matchmaking algorithm to squeeze every red cent out of their community, and they keep that system in place for over half a decade, fans are obviously going to be pretty skeptical when that trillion-dollar company has a sudden change of heart. I've seen some reports coming in from players today saying that the game doesn't feel any different to them. I've also seen some people saying that the game feels completely different, and for me, my own personal experience, again, very limited sample size so far, but the game does certainly feel better. I think it's a pretty damn good improvement. In fact, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I actually want to play Call of Duty. It feels really weird, man. Like, I actually enjoyed my matches tonight. I can feel myself getting better at the game, despite the fact that I barely touched COD at all since like last December. Kill streaks are actually being called in my lobbies once again. There's actually weapon variety. Not everybody is a movement god, and matches feel a lot more organic than they did before. And honestly, I'm enjoying myself, again, when I'm not being packet bursted back into the freaking Stone Age. I think it's fair to say that when Activision and Treyarch are doing these tests, which this is what this is, by the way, it's just a test, that they may end up tuning the matchmaking a lot during the beta. Maybe one day they'll crank it up for a day. Maybe the next day they crank it back down, tweak things here, maybe some other things there. They even said on Twitter that, quote, beta is all about trying things, gathering data, and being part of the community dialogue. We look forward to sharing more in-depth takeaways from the beta on the road to launch, including more on matchmaking and how we keep players together. That final bit right there I find interesting. So while you find matches nearly instantly now, lobbies still don't stay together. They still disband, which is a problem. They should definitely fix that. But what's crazy is it basically throws you into another lobby like pretty much instantly, which once again further proves that skill-based matchmaking is complete bullshit and they absolutely lied to us. Time to match and connection quality were never the top priority. I'm not even sure if they were a priority whatsoever. The only thing that really mattered to them was skill as the main factor. I also think it's important to remember that right now we are in the closed portion of the beta. The only people that can play right now are pre-orders, people with Game Pass, and people who got a code, right? So starting tomorrow on October 5th, the beta opens up for everybody, and assuming that they keep the no skill-based matchmaking playlist in the game, everybody is going to be playing it, and we're going to get a real feel for what Black Ops 7 is all about. That's the craziest thing about this to me as well, man. Like, even while playing, it's not like I'm dropping nukes or anything like that. The entire notion of, oh, you don't like skill-based matchmaking because you want to shit on bad players, that was asinine to begin with. That was never the case. I always just wanted a normal, organic, unmanipulated Call of Duty experience like we used to have, and while I'm playing this game mode and I'm getting that experience, I feel like I can actually get a good sense of the maps, a feel for the weapons, a feel for the movement and the equipment, and if I'm Treyarch, I am stoked right now because finally, after all these years, feedback actually matters. I mean, it's no coincidence that Call of Duty started sucking when they added skill-based matchmaking. Not only for the obvious reasons, but the less obvious reason of if you're the developers, how do you change and balance a game that essentially has 10 different versions of itself running at the same time? How can you make adjustments to maps or change things based on feedback when the bottom 20% of players say the maps are too campy, whereas the top 20% of players say the maps are way too fast? How can you balance a weapon with your internal data, which we know they love so much, when it's performing one way in the higher brackets, but another way in the lower brackets? When everybody is on the same playing field, the game is just that. It's the freaking game, right? So for all the good and the bad that might bring, everybody is playing the same Call of Duty once again. So their internal data finally matters once again. Feedback from the community actually matters once again. It's hard to take an opinion from somebody like Scump, who's like a literal pro playing with other pros and against other pros, and take that feedback and have it apply to Billy Goat 57 just trying to unlock his pretty gold camo, you know? Like, everybody is all unified. We're all playing the same experience once again, and this change means so much more to the game than a lot of people want to give credit. There are so many smooth brains out there saying, you just want to shit on bad players. I have no idea. I have no critical thinking skills whatsoever. It's not that. It was never that. This changes so much about the game, but there is one incredibly important caveat, and honestly, I'm concerned about what might happen next. So the core mosh pit playlist here in the beta is just that. It's a playlist, right? It's a singular mosh pit in the beta, and as of right now, there is no guarantee that it will stick around. Right now, Activision and Treyarch obviously are in full panic mode. That's why they pulled the switch. That's why they pushed the big red button. I mean, pre-orders are down so bad right now, and player numbers are even worse, so they had to do something. And like I mentioned earlier, they have stuck to their guns about skill-based matchmaking for years now. How long's it been? 6 years? 7 years? It's been a while. I think it's pretty clear that they believe that skill-based matchmaking is either number A, good for business, number B, good for the game, or number C, the best thing possible all around. And right now they are doing this test within the beta, and they claim that they've done stuff like this in the past. They never publicly came out and said it, let alone posted in the game itself, like freaking describing the matchmaking algorithm, but apparently they've run tests like this before, and they always go back to keeping skill-based matchmaking. So what everybody needs to do right now is, if you're playing the beta, you need to only play this game mode. That's it. It does not matter what other game modes they might add to the beta, only play this mosh pit. Activision loves their data so much, and I'm sure they would absolutely love to say, well, turns out more people enjoyed the other game mode more, so we're taking this away from you. What? That sound like goofy there a little bit? I don't know why my voice did that, but you guys know what I'm saying here, right? Like, the biggest thing here, guys, and I really want you to listen for a second, is this is just the beginning. Enjoy our victory for now, sure, but we have a lot of work ahead of us, because if they launch Black Ops 7 with their normal bullshit manipulative matchmaking, and they just add a freaking mosh pit like this, which is like a singular game mode, then it's all gonna be for naught, man. You guys all know how COD is. There's like 30 different game modes across core and hardcore. The menus are always awful. Somehow they get worse every single year. So if they bury the no skill-based matchmaking playlist within the full launch of the game, nobody is going to play it. Certainly not the casual players or even the semi-casual players, because they'll just jump into regular TDM or whatever game mode they want to play, right? So if this game mode goes into the full launch as it is right now, the only people that will be playing it will probably be the sweatiest of the sweats, which makes the mode pretty much useless and null and void. void. Removing skill-based matchmaking needs to be the baseline for Call of Duty multiplayer. What we see in this game mode so far needs to be the baseline for every game mode in COD. You can keep skill-based matchmaking in rank play. Obviously, it's what it's there for. That's the entire freaking point. But if you keep skill-based matchmaking out of casual modes entirely, then fans would be happy. We've been talking about this for years and years. I don't think I need to remind you guys. Like, I joked I never talked about this topic, but we talk about it all the freaking time, man. We've all gone over this. We all know what's going on. And I also think it's important to note that just because there is no skill-based matchmaking in the game, it doesn't mean Black Ops 7 is going to suddenly be a top 5 COD or anything, but it's certainly going to be a step in the right direction. Not only for Black Ops 7, but for the entire future of the Call of Duty franchise. And Activision, I know you're listening. If you want a future at all, you will keep this mode in the beta and make it baseline for the full launch of Black Ops 7, and maybe, just maybe, Battlefield won't blow you completely out of the water this year. Like I said earlier, guys, I was gone all day, so I didn't really get a chance to play much, so the footage here isn't going to be insane or anything like that, but I am looking forward to seeing the community's reaction to all this over the course of the coming days, as well as for myself personally, giving the game a proper go, because again, it feels so freaking weird, but I actually want to play Call of Duty. What's going on here? What world are we living in? Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for this video here today. There's going to be a lot more coming out tomorrow, and I'm sure many more updates and changes are going to be happening, so stay tuned to the channel here. Be sure to sub if you guys haven't already. But for right now, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video here today. Leave your thoughts and feedback down there in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.